Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm Titania, and this is Tarot with Titania for the week ahead, Friday, December 18th to Friday, December 25th, 2020. I can't believe we're already at the end of the year. It's pretty amazing. So, let's get started, shall we? Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here to do a reading for the highest and greatest benefit of anyone who listens to this reading now and in the future. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that is most needed at this time, and to provide that in a manner that will be easily and effortlessly heard, understood, and integrated for the highest and greatest benefit of anyone who is on this call. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening now and in the future to be present and facilitate this exchange, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to ensure that this happens in the clearest and highest and most uplifting manner possible. I also would like to invoke the four archangels to come and hold the four directions around us across time and space, creating a container of light, of love, of healing, of beauty, of transformation, of peace, of whatever it is that is in our collective heart and mind at this time. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies is welcome to go now. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming and being here with us and facilitating our gathering. So, we are into the depths of the darkest time of the year here in the Northern Hemisphere. I'll be coming to you on Monday with the solstice reading for the next quarter. Interesting times for those of you who are following astrology, and for those of you who are just following what's going on in the world. Interesting times indeed. So what is it that we need to know about the week ahead? Let's see what the cards have for us. Okay. So the recent past, the influence is waning, but it continues into the present, into the future. You guys know the rote. Very interesting. The card of sacrifice. This is actually the card that just came up this week in the interview that I gave with Laura at Boomx Beauty Beat about the energy for the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. So the energy of sacrifice, the energy of the Eight of Hearts or the Eight of Cups, depending on the deck that you use. But you see there's sort of these hearts that are falling down like tears. And we have this ocean down here, and the salt water, the salt tears, and the fish swimming around at the bottom. This continuation of life. Just what this is telling us is that this is a very intense time. For those of us who are in areas where the lockdown is more significant, we're being told we can't gather with loved ones. And there's a lot of, let's face it, it's a dark time of the year. And for those who are alone, it's more difficult, for sure. It's a very intense time as well. And astrologically, it's, again, I've been saying this for a few weeks now, but the astrologers that I follow are talking about this time as being like a birth canal, that really tight squeeze before we come out into the light. And so this is the energy that's sitting in our recent past, this energy of sacrifice, this idea of it being hard or intense emotionally, feeling a lot, not quite knowing what to do with those feelings, but just feeling them. And I want you to know that it's okay. We're human. It's part of our experience as human beings to have these feelings. And it's also good to know that they do pass. We're not going to be here forever. And it's important to remember that. We are not going to be in this place forever. Things are moving. We are moving. Everything is changing around us, including us. So be patient with yourself. If you're having hard days, do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Make sure that you're getting out for a nice walk outside in the fresh air and sunshine, or even if it's raining, take an umbrella and get yourself outside and move yourself around. Circulate your body. It's the best thing you can do when you're feeling stuck emotionally, is to get out and move. Especially if you can move somewhere where there's lots of nature, trees and ferns and growing things. Even in the dead of winter, just get outside and move. Even for a little bit, at least a half an hour a day is really, really good for us. And that'll help with this heaviness, with this feeling of emotion and intensity. Okay, the present card. We have the Princess of Hearts. So again, another heart. It is a time of big emotion. The Princess of Hearts is a sort of a new beginning. She has a letter. She's reading it very interestedly. We have the ocean running across at her feet, the collective waters, the collective consciousness. And that's something I just want to mention about this card, is when we have the symbolism of water, it's a symbol for the collective consciousness that we're all part of. That even if personally we don't have any reason to be feeling bad in our lives, we are connected to everybody else, and we will be maybe feeling what they're feeling, and it's okay. And maybe even you're helping to process those feelings if that makes that feel more productive for you. But just realize that we'll get past it. Emotions are fluid. They change, and it's okay. And so this is new beginnings on the level of the emotions, possibly incoming messages that help us to feel more inspired or hopeful, or that is helping to shift our perspective, something that's changing in our experience so that we are having a new beginning on the level of our hearts, the new beginning on the level of our spirit. The near future, we have them all today. Okay, the Queen of Hearts. Now the Queen of Hearts is a woman, because she's feminine, a very intuitive, a very motherly, nurturing, sensitive person who really understands the emotional self and is really able to support others in their emotional being with their emotions and being okay with their emotions. Just understanding that the emotions, again, like we were talking about, the emotions are part of being human. We're not going to be stuck in them forever, but it's an important and necessary part of our experience to have our feelings and move through them. Not necessarily avoid them, but not be attached to them either. Just recognize that they're there. You can name them if that helps, and then let them just run and go. And don't get stuck in the feelings. So this is the energy of our near future. It's this idea of mastery of the suit of hearts, the mastery of the experience of our emotions. It's moving into a place where we are not at the effect of our feelings. We are actually understanding what they are and the purpose that they play in our lives. Our feelings are guidance. They help to direct us towards what is wanted. When we're feeling something that we don't want, we know we're off. We know that what we're intending or what we're giving our energy to or how we're being is not serving us. When we're feeling optimistic and positive and enthusiastic, we know that we're in alignment with our heart and our passion and our purpose. So when we start to understand what our feelings are and how they serve us, we can be just that much more empowered in our lives. And certainly the Queen of Hearts is very empowered in this aspect. So that's the energy of the near future. So despite the fact that we have this sort of intensity, we have this new beginning, we're learning to be masters in this aspect of our life, or this aspect of our feeling self. Okay, now we got the foundation card. Why we're having the reading this week. Ooh, there she is again. Possessiveness. The Four of Pentacles. So if you look at this card, you have this woman who is clutching her valuables, her pearls, her precious things to her chest, and she's looking around furtively, like she's afraid somebody's going to catch her with her things. There's this holding on energy that comes with this card. Pentacles have to do with the material realm, with three-dimensionality, with more material things. So the energy that's sitting in our foundation is this energy of holding, this energy of fear, this energy of not knowing what to think, not knowing what to believe, but holding on to what we think is important. And in this case, it's material things, which I get it. I get it. We're all human. We have bodies. We need shelter. We need sustenance, all of that aspect. But it's understanding, too, that we are greater than this. We are more than just the material stuff. We are channels for light, for love, for beauty. And so in the midst of this time of intense emotion, it's understandable that we would hold on to what's familiar and hold on to what's known and hold on. But I'm just going to encourage you to just watch yourself this week. Just watch yourself and just notice when you're doing this, and pay attention to that, not in a way, as I said, not to become hooked by it, but just to recognize and to be kind to yourself when you see yourself holding like this. And maybe just see if there's a way we could soften and open up your heart a little bit and open up your experience a little bit to soften this and allow the energy to flow. Because when we clutch, when we're holding, the energy is not flowing. And at this time of year, traditionally, this is a time of generosity, of open-heartedness, of sharing, of giving. And so, and I'm going to say here, doing that appropriately, doing that in a way that doesn't leave you feeling vulnerable or leaves you feeling empty, but in a way where you have an abundance in your field. You have an abundance of love or kindness or joy or upliftment. You can see and acknowledge others and bring them some light. There are many, many ways we can bring our gifts to bear at this time of year so that we can soften this clutching, fearful, holding thing and allow the energy to flow through us and out into life so that we are generous channels for the life force of which we, which is what we're here to do, is to channel our light and our love out into the world. Okay. How we need to conduct ourselves. The Magician. Oh, I love this card. Okay, so the Magician is a major arcana. This is a soul growth card. It's a pay attention card. And the Magician is about bringing your will and your attention to the present moment and manifesting magnificently as a result of that. Knowing how to bring the various elements of life together to create a specific outcome. So this is how we need to conduct ourselves this week. This is this energy of being very intentional with our thoughts, with our minds, with our will, and really practicing, really being dedicated and intentional about bringing that awareness and that energy towards what is wanted. If you were a master magician, what would you want to create in the world? Not only in your own experience, because this is a collective experience, but what we do individually is important too. But what would you want to create in the bigger world? If you had a magic wand and could make anything happen, what would you want to make happen in the world? Give that some thought this week, because we need to create magic. And we can create magic. That's the thing that we haven't realized about being human, is that we are powerful co-creators with life. And this is what this card is telling us, that through our attention and our focus, we can bring the various elements, the co-creative components together to produce a beautiful and lasting and wonderful result in our experience. We are the linchpin. Our focus, attention, and will is the linchpin, so that when we give our creative imagination a chance to focus, we give ourselves a chance to design or intend or visualize a specific outcome. We get excited about something. That's a really good piece of it, getting excited, because then we're pulling life force through us. And all the cooperative components can come together and make whatever it is that we're envisioning possible. So vision big energy right now. So vision good things. Some astrologers are talking about this being the transition to the age of Aquarius. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is a time of expansion. It is a time of fantastic possibility space. Aquarius is the suit. It's an air suit, an astrological sign in the realm of the element of air. And it's all about very much this time of it's mind, it's creativity, it's passion, it's possibility space. It really is a very exciting energy. So leverage the energy of the Magician in your experience this week. Okay, how others are going to be this energy of passage. I like a lot of the cards. I like this one. Six of Swords, the energy of passage. So we have people, they've been through a storm. The mast is down, the sail is down. They've lost their rudder. They can't control their boat. The boat is going where it will. And yet they're being carried. The momentum of the water is carrying them in a particular direction. And we have the rainbow here, which is an indicator of passage to something affirming and positive. That's the reference to the story of the Bible with Noah, that the rainbow was sent at the end to say that that deluge would never happen again. Something to that extent would never happen on the planet again. And so this is sitting in the position of others. So others are transitioning. They're making safe passage. So this can mean that they're moving to more peaceful waters, that through coming through a difficult time, which we all have, and finding a more peaceful way. But it's also a card of surrender. It's a card of flow, of surrender, of acceptance, of faith, of going with the energy rather than pushing against it. Instead of trying to make something happen, it's setting the intention and then flowing with the energy of life. And that the reward is there, that we are taken care of, and that it all is well. So this is sitting in the energy of others. So if you look around you, look to see this experience of passage in others, but also in your own experience, because we're another in somebody else's. So it's making peace with where we are, even though it may be the result of a very difficult time. Make peace with where you are and visualize where you want to go, and allow yourself to dream the new future, but flow with the energy of life right now. Trust that you are being led exactly where you need to be, that life is opening up to you exactly where you are, and that you will gain greater clarity about where you need to be and what you need to be doing with your life force and your resources and your energy. So many of us have had so much. There's this experience of upheaval, of change, of transformation, things not being what they were, not knowing how things are going to be going. Change is very difficult. We like certainty. We hold on tight to that which is familiar, but we're being called on to let go of that tightness, to soften, to move in the direction of where life is carrying us, to trust that flow of life and know that it's taking us where we want to be going. There's even the dove with the olive branch there. Okay, how others are going to be. And then the outcome, oh, that's a good one too. Victory. This is this overcoming energy, this just overcoming in a really good way, in a really positive way, as in heart lit up and transcending the challenges and being inspired and moving in a good direction. You have the shooting star and the leaping over the flames. There's this sort of triumphant quality to this card, this energy of wands are about creativity, inspiration, and passion. So it's about this moving forward, this leaping forward in our creativity, our inspiration, our passion. It's seeing the possibility for us as a unique individual and moving forward with that, knowing that each of us in our uniqueness is part of the greater whole, the greater plan, that we're all very, very important. So this is the outcome that we're moving towards in the coming week, is this windows of clarity, this window of possibility, this window of knowing, of exaltation, of celebration, of, well, as I said, it's just a very positive energy. So we're going to go from the water of the emotions into this co-creative energy, understanding our role in the co-creative dance with life, that we are powerful co-creators with the flow of energy of life. We just need to line up and hold our attention and our will on the things that are inspiring to us, and then we could pull the co-creative components together and make it so in our reality. And this is about that transition energy, this moving through. Yes, it's been difficult. Yes, it's been hard. We haven't known what's been going on, but we are being propelled. There's like a larger force at work in the world, in the field, the collective field at this point, that's pulling us to where we need to be. And not trying to swim against that current, but going with it, going with that energy and seeing where it takes us. And then the outcome is this highly celebratory and energy of overcoming, of exaltation, of victory, of possibility, but in a really Again, it's like a direction, a place to give our direction and our energy and our focus that's so positive and heartening and connected to our enthusiasm and our love. Okay, so if you're holding on this week, see if you could soften that. See how you can bring some love and some light to somebody else's experience. There's nothing more rewarding than taking a step out of our own immediate experience and seeking to bring love and light and joy to somebody else. And that is so much a part of the traditional Christmas spirit, this idea of looking out into the world and seeing how you can be of service and making somebody else's burden a little lighter, a little bit more joyful, bringing some light into the world. And with all this heavy emotion, it's not a bad thing, because then we can move out of our own pit of emotion and be there for somebody else, be there to be a master of the feeling realm, being nurturing, being kind, being loving, taking care of each other. And as I said, we've already covered these, very positive, very good cards. And this is the strong card in this reading, being a major arcana, this idea of really bringing your power to bear here, understanding that you are a powerful co-creator with life. You're not a passive participant. So if there's something you want to create, start putting your energy and attention towards that. Create a vision board. I would encourage everyone, if you're inspired, to create a vision board for the world. The energies now are so strong. What do you want the Aquarian age to look like? What would it have? What important elements would it have? Our collective future together. What do we want that to look like? You know, and examples of that would be beautiful clean water and air, you know, resilient people, wonderful healthcare system that actually is working to heal people, not just to palliate and, I don't know, whatever, but a life, a world where we are all using our gifts to the best of our ability in service to each other and living beautifully and abundantly and taking care of the natural world that we're a part of and coming up with co-creative solutions so that we can thrive and the planet can thrive and the other life that we share this planet with also thrives. These kinds of things would be beautiful on your vision board. Just, you don't need to know how it's going to happen. Just visioning it, writing the words on your vision board, putting pictures that represent it, colors that represent it, just giving yourself a chance to play. It'd be powerful, very powerful at this time of year, which is the inward time of the year traditionally. Okay, now we're going to move on to a card to grow on for this week. Let's see, what is it that we need to know to thrive this week? Where can we be putting our life force and our energy to have the best possible outcomes and experiences in our alignment with our highest and best selves and our role on this planet, the gifts we have to give? Just make no mistake, you are essential. You as a unique individual have unique gifts to give and to bring. And if you're not paying attention to that, you're probably not feeling very happy. Okay. A card to grow on for this week leading up to Christmas. Can't believe it's Christmas next week. Okay, here we go. So we have the Princess of Swords. And this is, I just find it so interesting how we have the same cards coming up on a regular basis. So the Princess of Swords is new beginnings on the level of the mind and of action. She's received a letter here. There's a butterfly of new inspiration. We have all these like speckly stardust orb things happening in her field around her. It's like this incoming sparking messages, incoming sparking inspiration, ideas that are inspiring, that are heart-opening. And this is our card to grow on this week. Looking around us for those things that get us worked up and excited in a good way. There are some phenomenal thought leaders on the planet at this time doing great work, helping us to bridge where we were and helping us to move towards what is possible. Just encourage you to get out there and explore permaculture, phenomenal field of possibility of how we can co-create on this planet. Regenerative agriculture, another field that is just so exciting and full of possibility. And in terms of health and nutrition and activity, there's so many things that we can do for ourselves that keep us well, that keep us healthy. We've talked about it in other videos here. But this idea of spark the new, spark the inspiration, look for the things that inspire you, give your attention to that, unplug from the stuff that brings you down, makes you fearful, fills you with doubt. It's important in a way, but what's more important is to go with your excitement and your enthusiasm and to move your life in those directions of empowerment and joy, taking action from that inspired place. So that's what we need to be giving our attention to this week. A very happy card. Well, my dears, thank you for letting me read for you for another week. I wish you all a beautiful season, holiday season. Hanukkah is coming to an end, and we're moving into the season of Yule and the solstice and Christmas. And I'm sure there are lots of other things that I'm not aware of. And I just want to wish you, wherever you are, the very, very best of the season. I wish you a heart full of love and light. And I thank you for being there. I thank you for your place on the planet at this time and the good work that you're doing, even if you feel like you're maybe not doing very much at all. I just thank you for being here at this time and persevering and continuing to bring your best to life. Creator, thank you for this opportunity to be of service. I ask that these words find their way to those who need them most. I ask that you walk with us and help us to shine brightly in this time of greatest darkness, that we may be light and love, kindness, peace, and hope for each other, and that we may inspire each other to a beautiful, kinder, wiser, more lovely, healthier world for everyone. Much love and light, everybody. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next week. Take care.